Ladies and gentlemen, fight fans all around the world, let's talk some boxing. So I'm going to make a bold statement here, and I'm going to say, just like how people say no one beats Floyd Money Mayweather, no one in the light heavyweight division beats Sergey the Crusher Kovalev. Period. When I looked from round one at what Kovalev was doing to Jean Pascal, I knew this guy could box, and it told as the fight went on. Now some people say, well, the fight, it ended prematurely. You know, we wanted to see if Pascal would come back from being dropped or not dropped. He wasn't dropped, but being stunned in the round. I think it was the 7th round or 8th round. I can't remember which one it is. I think it was the 8th. But see, there's certain fundamental things in boxing that were being done to Pascal. Now, to Kovalev's credit, he has a good chin, okay? And Pascal was outsmarting him. So let me just break down the fight a little bit and explain what I mean by no one is going to beat Sergey Kovalev anytime soon. Kovalev began this fight by establishing his jab to the pit, jab to the body. He would use the jab for multiple things as a rangefinder for his right hand, as an establishment of distance, and also the jab to the pit to suck energy out of Jean Pascal. Pascal allowed him to do so. Now Pascal knew he didn't have the reach as Sergey Kovalev does, so he had to sort of bait Sergey into attacking him, and once he was within range, Jean Pascal, he would counterpunch. You know, like how Floyd Mayweather does that piston-like right that comes out of the shoulder roll. So he would shoulder roll in Kovalev. Kovalev would clip him on the top of the head, and then he would send that piston-like right into Kovalev, and then he would use combinations to Kovalev's body. And Kovalev was rocked. I mean, this guy was rocked a couple times in this fight, don't get me wrong. And actually, the tables turned, and Pascal looked like he was going to get him out of there, okay? Of course, Pascal was rocked, man, by a blisteringly, just pinpoint accurate straight right to the side of his face that basically had him slumping over the ropes. We thought the fight was over. No, ladies and gentlemen, this has been one of the most exciting light heavyweight fights I've seen in a long time. But the thing about it was, Kovalev, even though he was a little bit over anxious to finish Pascal, his corner calmed him down, said, take your time, break him down. And what Kovalev did, he started to break down Pascal with the jab. He stopped reaching in on Pascal, and he adjusted, and he started using right hooks from the outside, because Kovalev's game is his reach. He got the reach advantage. He knew he had the power to finish Pascal. Pascal also had the power to finish him. So why take a chance and get counterpunched? Because he was counterpunched. Pascal was counterpunching him like crazy. Rounds 5 and 6 just came right back. 4, 5, 6 counterpunching him. And then Kovalev made the adjustment to stay on the outside, and he also started jabbing and getting into his defense. So he'd go in range, out of range. He'd start to jab to the pit and again get out of it. You know? So he made the necessary adjustments for Pascal. Of course, they wanted him to feint and then go in on Pascal. He wasn't doing that. His corner was telling him to do that. He didn't do that. Pascal was the one landing the feints, getting inside on Kovalev, and then doing beautiful body work on him, and then going back to the head. And Pascal really, he marked up Kovalev's face. Kovalev gave him a little puffy eye underneath his eye. I think it was his right eye. And that's from the jabs. See, it was a beautiful technical display of chess in there. Now, in the 8th round, I think it is, Kovalev again wobbled Pascal, and then he lost his balance and fell down. I don't know why. I think it was just the awkward angle at which he tried to come in with his punch to finish Pascal. And then Pascal wobbled across to the corner, and then the ref was watching Pascal all the time as Kovalev landed a beautiful right hook on the outside again, and then he came back with a second right hook on Pascal, straight right I think it was, and the ref came in between. Now Pascal was still cognitive. We could see that because you could see him put his forearm up on the ref to show that he was good. So yeah, it was a sort of premature stoppage, I do agree. And Pascal took much heavier punishment than that in the 3rd round, and he walked away. So Pascal had ridiculous conditioning I do believe Kovalev was slowing down Pascal with those body shots, though. And so, but it was a good fight. In fact, I'm sure a lot of people would love to see a rematch of these two, even though I think Kovalev this time he will comprehensively beat Pascal, because I think he's learning the style and he's made the necessary adjustments. But it was a great fight. I was impressed with Pascal. I didn't expect him to put up such a performance. Roy Jones Jr. did a great job with him. I would have loved to see how this fight would have transpired. I think Kovalev would have still won it by decision, but Pascal had a good showing for himself. He was thinking in there, and that was good to see. He's still throwing those wild punches from the outside, where he should have just again stayed calm, baited Kovalev. But I think the body punching by Kovalev provoked him to make a response, and he didn't have the patience to be like that. And so Kovalev was able to ambush him when he was reaching in. So I thought it was a great fight, and it showed, one, Kovalev has a good chin. Two, Kovalev's a thinking fighter. This is not just a guy who's coming in there to just implement his power on you. He's using boxing. He's using good boxing technique. And even though Adonis Stevenson is expressing his interest in fighting Kovalev, I gotta say, I don't think anyone right now in that division stands a chance of beating Kovalev. And I'm saying that categorically because I was watching this fight very intensely. And while Kovalev was ambushed and got straight rights, he made the adjustments necessary to stay on the outside. Because Kovalev's an outside fighter, clearly. He's not an inside fighter, okay? But having said that, I hope they work on his inside game, his mid-range game as well. Pascal basically exploited his inside game, got him to draw in too close, got him overconfident, and caught him with some really good shots that stunned Kovalev and basically changed the complexity of the game in the 5th round. Okay, Pascal showed he was a game opponent. He did take a lot of punishment from Kovalev, but he returned a lot of punishment too. That was a good fight. But like I said, I don't think he was going to win that fight. Now, I don't see him winning. I saw him being competitive. If he could get really good shots in, he could hurt Kovalev. But I didn't see him stopping him. And that's why I'm saying to you people right now, you know, you guys talk about Floyd Mayweather. You need to give this guy his props. And this guy has only fought 2 elite fighters. This is Pascal now and Bernard Hopkins. Pascal was a former lineal champion, and Bernard Hopkins was also a linear champion when Kovalev fought him. He beat both of them. Kathy Duva has a gem, a diamond in the rough, man. This guy is legit. This guy is the goods, and he's going to be around for a long time. As long as he wants to be lightweight champion, he can be. And he can unify all the belts. I'm telling you, this guy, I'm very impressed with his boxing skill, his boxing IQ. That's what impresses me the most. He's a little bit impatient. He lost his composure, and his coach had to calm him down. Jean Pascal, he was always calm. He was always composed. You could tell this guy had been a world champion. He knew what it took. I would have loved to see more of the fight, but again, the ref stopped it. He knew what he was doing. I mean, Pascal was wobbling to his corner. Kovalev was about to, it looked like he was about to finish him. Of course, we don't know because Pascal keeps on counterpunching you when you get reckless in there. And Kovalev did get reckless. So, you know, I don't know. You know, this is one of those fights you're like, what if this fight had gone a little longer? What would have really happened? You know, it's kind of like that kind of fight. You can't really tell, you know. So it was a great fight, and I'm looking forward to seeing Kovalev. I don't think nobody beats Kovalev because he's got too many tools, too many weapons. And he's got a pretty good, sturdy chin. I don't see anybody in the division beating him because even if he doesn't knock you out, you know, he doesn't have to get the knockout. He boxes well enough to outpoint you. So I don't really see anybody beating him. Okay, and I'm being honest with you guys, just based on my basic assessment of this guy. And the thing about it, he's the most exciting fighter I've ever seen in a long time. He got everything. He got defense. He's got the punching power. He's got the boxing IQ. You know, this guy is everything. I mean, he is the goods. Whether you like him or you don't like him, let me tell you, man, the guy is the goods. He's the real deal, okay? So he just beat 2 elite champions. And I mean, he dominated. Well, he didn't. Yes, he dominated. He dominated both of them because he was basically way ahead on the scorecards against Pascal. It was like what, 5-3, okay? Because that 8 round was going to be his. So it's about 5'3", and then against Hopkins, he basically shut out Hopkins. So I mean, this guy is the goods, okay? And it's not just his punching power. That's what people need to understand. It's his boxing IQ, how he breaks down a fighter. So yeah, I'm totally impressed with Sergey Kovalev. I'm looking forward to seeing more of his fights. As I said before, there ain't nobody beating that guy. No one is beating Sergey Kovalev. I'm just telling you guys now. That's what I feel in my heart, based on the evidence I just looked at. Y'all have a great day.